am the one and only MSJ, Max for short, and welcome to my YouTube channel. And this is the 13th Wolfman, and a new challenger has entered the game. I am the Ice Lord. What I'm about to ask of you, please go over to their channels and do the exact same as click subscribe, hit the bell to stay notified for any future videos that we will be creating, especially this series that we have going on. And as well as leave a like, comment, and share, because it helps us get our videos and channels to a much broader audience, and we all want to hear what you have to say about our videos. And leave a comment down below, because we are just really into knowing what you have to say. So that would mean the world to all of us if that's what you would do. So before I go any further, I kind of have to explain some things that I've been radio silent. I haven't really been talking to anybody. I haven't really been making any videos. I haven't really wanted to make videos. Well, that's not the case. I've been wanting to make videos. I just haven't had the time or the really need to make videos, because I've been trying to renovate my house, spend some time with my fiance, working. My sleep schedule has been really terrible. So I'm finally getting to a point where everything's starting to kind of flatten out and kind of get back to normal. And this is the first of many things that I'm trying to get back on track, is get back to making these challenge videos. So I'm about to do kind of a quick catch-up video on all the challenges, but first I have to reveal my challenge to these guys, the 13th Wolfman and I Am the Ice Lord. I wanted them to go into the movie collection and find a trilogy of movies that they watch. And like, it doesn't necessarily have to be 1, 2, 3, but it has to be kind of like based on something similar, like an actor or a particular creature, like vampires or werewolves. You know, it could be like 3 very different movies, but they all have werewolf movies that they kind of pair up. So, but these are the movies that I like to pair up. One of these movies kind of are interchangeable, but 2 of them stay the same regardless. I'll get to the one that is interchangeable. But first up is Gone in 60 Seconds, the original Gone in 60 Seconds. I love this movie. I mean, I love the one with Nicolas Cage too, but I just can't get over the practical car effects and the huge car chase at the very end of the movie with the Mach 1, Eleanor, you know, doing that huge jump. And just, I absolutely love this movie, which also leads to my next pick for my car trilogy, basically, is Vanishing Point, the original Vanishing Point. I think the main character is Kowalski. He's just trying to give him Denver to San Francisco, less than 15 hours, and along the way he kind of meets these various road characters, and this has a very killer soundtrack in my mind. And so, same with the Gone in 60 Seconds. It's just like them trying to steal 48 cars in a very short amount of time. And the last one is the Mach 1, and that's kind of where the movie kind of climaxes there. So, now, this third one is very interchangeable, just depending on my day. It is either the movie I'm about to pick or the movie Death Proof with Kurt Russell. Because the 2 cars in that movie are in, one of them is in this movie, which is the White Challenger, which is mentioned in Death Proof, and I think the Mach 1 Mustang is in Death Proof. I don't know if that's the right, it's the yellow Mustang in the movie. It may just be a standard, maybe just like run-of-the-mill Mustang, but it seems very, I think he had purposely picked for that movie just because it's Quentin Tarantino. But anyways, I chose this one for my third pick, which is Baby Driver, which has like 2 of the elements in this one. Has good soundtrack and decent acting all rolled into one, and it's like, I love Edgar Wright movies, and I think this may be one of my favorite ones that doesn't include Simon Pegg and Nick Frost, but these two this movie I absolutely love. It's good car scenes, good soundtrack, good story. It's just all the way around. And I think that's what makes these three movies a very good trilogy, is that they're good story, good soundtrack, and good acting. You know, it's like you get all what you need out of these three movies right out of the bat with just these car movies. So, but anyways, my next one is to the I Am the Ice Lord. He challenged us to do a Trippy trilogy, which was really fun to do because I think our definitions of Trippy are very vastly different. You know, I think it's like either you're like you have to, it's like very on the drug use aspect of things, and I kind of see it as like you need to be on something to watch it, or to really get the full effect of this movie, or that the movie itself is kind of very trippy in nature, you know, like visuals and stuff like that. So, so these three movies, these are very interchangeable as well, but these three that I think are very good to watch back to back to back. They're very different nature. One's animated, one's very offensive, and one's just kind of a dumb action flick, but it has a very good, kind of has some trippy moments in there. I mean, especially trying to get him to not die, which is first up is Jason Statham in Crank. You know, he's drugged and with his called the Beijing cocktail, and it's been basically siphoning off his adrenaline, but in order to keep him alive, he has to get these new amounts of adrenaline into his body, and to kind of throughout the movie he's doing various different things to kind of keep his heart rate up and the adrenaline and just kind of keep moving. And when he's starting to kind of like mellow out and kind of slow down, like the world around him starts to kind of warp and everything. And I think this is a pretty good trippy movie to watch, just because of like it's different and it's very action packed, but also has its moments where it's like, it's the drug use in this movie due to the Beijing cocktail. I think it just has a weird effect on the world, and it's shot very kinetic. It's shot in a very different way because it's very handheld, I do believe, and because it's the Neveldine brothers, I think. So they're constantly like, it's just very fast, and like it's very like, you know, like depends on the drug you're using. You know, it could be Crank. You know, it's just like it's very fast, and like he's constantly like moving. So that's that one. The next one is a Rob Zombie film. It's animated. The visuals, and like this is one movie that you could be on something to fully enjoy. The next two movies are, but it's The Haunted World of El Super Beasto. It's just basically it's like a love letter to all Rob Zombie's movies. It's his comic book. It has Mexican wrestlers and Nazi zombies and robots, and has super spies and cameos from The Devil's Rejects and stuff like that. Oddest and Captain Spaulding. Even has just like a love letter to, I think some Universal monsters may show up in there as well, and just monsters, horror movies in general, and just like the visuals itself are very trippy. You know, it's just like it's very bloody. It's just like, oh man, it's like you may need a little bit of enhancement to fully enjoy the movie. I enjoy it regardless, but to really fully get into this movie, this movie's pretty offensive. It really is. Like the opening joke to this movie is making light of what had happened on 9/11, and I think once I reveal the title of the movie, you'll completely understand if you know your video games, and it is Postal. It's a video based off a video game. It's an Uwe Ball movie. I'm probably pronouncing his name wrong, but this movie's pretty offensive. It really is, but it has some good humor mixed in, and I think a little bit of enhancement would make this movie makes this movie a lot funnier. And some scenes, like, I think the funniest moment in the whole movie is something totally random. Is these two cops are kind of stuck behind this old lady stoplight, and she's not going, and the guy's just like, hold on, let me take care of this. He gets out and just obliterates her with a shotgun, and I'm like, that is so random. And like, Vern Troyer's in this movie. The main actor is Zach Ward. You may recognize him as Scott Ferguson from A Christmas Story, you know. And so it's like, and like, I think George Bush, and this is made during the Bush era of presidency, and like Osama bin Laden and stuff like that, and they're like best friends and everything. And it's just like this movie is made for doing whatever and watching it. So that's kind of like my loosely trippy trilogy, just because it's like you may need a little bit of enhancement to enjoy the movie. But because I Am the Ice Lord kind of stole some of my movies, I was like going to put on my list, because I was going to do Requiem for a Dream and Natural Born Killers, because those two movies are very trippy. Like, those are like really good definitions of the trippy aspect of the films. Like, the Nightmare, Natural Born Killers, like, it's constantly editing. Like, there's no two shots of the same. You know, like, it could be all green, like in the drugstore sequence, or it can be warped, and, you know, like, the angles of the camera can be turned all the way to the left, you know, and when they're out in the desert doing their shrooms and dealing with like the Native Americans and stuff like that. So it's like, okay, like, wow, it's like this movie is all different, and thrown in some like news reports, and it's everything like that. And then Requiem for a Dream is just like when the mom, I can't think of her name, is kind of slowly descending into madness, basically due to her trying to get onto a television show, I do believe. Or a game show, and she's just not getting there, and she just descends into madness and everything like that. And Jared Leto with heroin and stuff like that, and Jennifer Connelly, you know, that scene in the movie, and I think those are pretty good. And then I think his third pick was a Serbian film, I think. So like, yeah, it's trippy movies, like, really good answers. And the 13th Wolfman, I think his answers, I don't think I've seen any of those, so I can't really comment on those, but I definitely will take your word on your answers. So, now, okay, now I'm all caught up. Now, with the 13th Wolfman has challenged me and the I Am the Ice Lord to go into our movie collection and to find our oddest packaging. My definition of packaging is like how the movie is boxed. There is some really cool artwork on packaging and stuff like that, but I was kind of going with like how it is boxed. And I have two of these really cool throwback box sets for Stranger Things 1 and 2, which is they were made to look like old school VHS, like the big box and the little clamshell boxes. So they're really cool. When you open them up, they look like VHS tapes inside. So I'm like, I think this is a really cool packaging. They're not really odd. I just think they're really cool, and these are my favorite box sets that I own, just because they even have like the little VHS logo and stuff like that. And I've gotten movies that come with like really cool other packaging. Like when I bought the newer versions of the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles, they come in with like their little turtle garbage truck, or the Man of Steel. When that first came out on Blu-ray, it came in in a metal S. And so I can actually display it. I have it displayed somewhere in my room down here. But those just a couple of other like kind of oddity packaging. But this one is my favorite just because of just how throwback it feels. So those are my challenges and my reveals for this. Well, I've been trying to catch up. I know this video may be a little long, but I don't have a challenge. I like I said, I've been very busy, so I'm going to let I Am the Ice Lord challenge us to the challenge this in his next video, and I will answer, and I will have a challenge the next time I'm around. So hopefully everything goes well with you guys. I would just say thank you for being patient with me. I know I've been a little behind on things, and I am the one and only MSJ, Max for short, and all I can say is thank you.